Fair enough. Though I will say, Bradley did a great job when he was on here last week. So very thankful for him and him coming on. I liked it, and I think we'll probably start to move more in that direction in general, just because it's Tech Tuesday, and I think that's a good thing for the show, the podcast, as well as the other things that we've talked about coming soon to own on Blu-ray and VHS.
That's right.
No, I'm kidding. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Tech Tuesday. My name is Ben.
I'm Tim.
He's whoever he's going to be.
Yeah, whatever you decide to call
Whatever
me.
I decide to call you this week.
The man with the van.
I know. Man with a van, actually, yes.
Bought a Power Tour wagon. It's a 1973.
It looks so cool.
Ford Econoline 300. It's got a certain amount of tree moss on it. It's fantastic. It has shag carpet. That'll have to go away because it smells funny. And it's a camper. It's a super van. Actually, it says on the badging on the back. So I'll have that up and running very soon. Yeah. And probably try to take that thing on Power Tour. I'm going to put something used on it that I got laying underneath my desk. Probably do some exciting YouTube stuff on it, and not going to run timing control or anything else. I'm going to run this stripped down bare bones, what it takes to make it work on a factory old school motor, and then go give it a drive and put some miles on it.
First question. Okay, this kind of goes back and forth with two things. Dominic Terry or Dom Terry 12, as well as Big Bug 6900.
He's got a nice
both
truck.
Have similar questions, but here for the Jackpot Basic Tuning videos, or even Tuning for Dummies class for the theory and basics on tuning. Would love to learn more and gladly pay to be part of a class, as well as just any other basic setup and tuning stuff to come for the Jackpot LS system, or really any of our systems with that advanced tuning software, because I can totally understand that as a lot of people are using these systems kind of in DIY settings and stuff like that.
Facts.
And maybe the main draw is that they don't necessarily have to take it to a tuner. So I really want to get more into making more tuning videos. If you need something specifically, it's a lot easier to move forward with something like that and say, okay, hey, we've got customers asking for advanced tuning. They need help in this specific area, working with timing in the advanced tuning software. So I can go in and make a video just specifically on working with setting up your timing and those tables in the advanced tuning software. So those kinds of things, we do want to have like a full-on class, and I don't think it will necessarily be something that you have to pay for right out the gate, but eventually.
I want to make it as free as I can for as long as I can before. Obviously, we're a business, so when it gets to a point that there's value in that, then there will be some kind of a marginal cost on, like, we just need to justify how many hours it takes to pay me to do this thing.
Right.
So,
and then in the meantime, let us know what you need. Obviously, something just basics is good, and I think we have a couple like just basic tuning videos, either YouTube Shorts or just regular YouTube videos on using the advanced tuning software. We just put one up yesterday for the how to download a tune, update your ECU and stuff like that, and then you go and put the tune back on the vehicle, which is really cool. We've got stuff like that on our channel, but the more specific, the better. And so that will help me and Tim kind of get what needs to be out there now while we make preparations for stuff to come out in the future.
Here.
Question numero dos.
All right. Rock's Car Shop from like 3 days ago. Hey, guys. Appreciate everything you do. 2 things, if you have time. Number 1, did a Killshot install. Works pretty good. Only had a few issues. as if it hit the throttle too fast, it stumbled. Any ideas? Yeah, acceleration correction versus TPS. Think of it as a digital format for like an accelerator pump on a carburetor. So tuning, fuel, basic. Oh, it's an advanced, isn't it? Tuning, fuel, advanced. Acceleration correction versus TPS. Just bump it up. It's like at 90 or so. Just bump it to like 120 and see if that lean tip in goes away.
Do you have a video for that? I'll make it appear somewhere.
Yeah, we'll put it there.
There it is.
Yeah. Let me see. I don't word very well. Let's see. 2, do you think we can get a freely customizable display where we can select our widgets to display with color schemes, etc.? Thanks. Had the conversation. It's not off the table. It's just not now. After we get everything we want in the display, we want people to be able to go in there and do that.
Yep.
You can do a lot of customization with it. You can't change the colors, but
that is coming.
You can select 99% of what's on the home screen. You can select a whole different display screen and do a customizable dash and all that jazz. But we're going to make it even better, and then, ultimately we'd like different colors. Some people, they can't see the red spectrum very well. It looks gray to them or some other weird color, and it kind of confuses the eyes. Me, I'm the same way with blue. If I see anything blue, it's piercing to my brain to actually see it. It is the brightest, sharpest, nastiest thing you ever seen. So I have a heck of a time when I'm outside, as you can imagine. That's why I wear sunglasses a lot. So we just need to, be able to customize.
That's why?
Yeah, that's actually why. Like if you have a blue LED in a room, dude, it hurts.
The more you know.
Before we go into that, if you're mounting an intake down, right, and the torque value is 89 pounds-inch, do not set your torque wrench to foot-pounds because it's not going to make 89. It's going to break right off. So when you call and you complain that the bolts break before they even reach torque value, make sure you're in the right torque scaling because that's
good to know.
Have it happened recently.
Nice.
It's like I was trying to get to 89 and it just broke right off. I'm like, 89 inch-pounds is not very much. That's like nothing.
Here we go. CF Franco, YouTube. First, thanks for Tech Tuesday. Having a surge issue with the Killshot EFI when cruising at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. You can feel and see the RPM on the screen go up and down 200 RPM.
Right on.
Also, after stopping or at a red light, initial throttle input, if I could read, stumbles. Verified timing and installed new spark plugs just in case, but no change. Chevy small block 350 with a Corvette-style fuel regulator.
Oh, we got a video. Anywho, so what we got going on here, let me just paint this lovely picture. I need to get my wig on and we'll do the thing. Never mind. So what we got here is the initial stumble and takeoff. That's acceleration correction versus TPS, but mainly rooted in your fuel table being a smidge off. So it's trying to learn. And where it's learning in one section, so we have a bit of a rich fuel thing here in one cell, and we got a lean spot in the other, so it'll sit there and just oscillate back and forth in the RPMs, cruise in steady state, until you cycle the key enough and it learns enough. So if you use the advanced tuning software, you can see where it's trying to manipulate the table. You can actually dial it in yourself, and then it won't have to learn that much. Not a big deal for the stumble and tip in. That whole thing is going to be acceleration correction versus TPS, or if you just add more to the top of your table and then offset it and correct it, because it calculates the VE table first, and then it calculates the high delta rate of change for your TPS to add in the extra fuel, like a pump shot and a carburetor. As for your Corvette-style regulator, you need to make sure to go into tuning and fuel and basic and change the injector or rated injector pressure from 43.5 psi to 58 and some change, because that's
58 psi.
That's going to mess with the injector pulse width, which will mess with its ability to learn correctly, which will mess with the fuel, which will make oscillations cruising down the road ever so slightly.
Would you say
it's all
either
deeply
update
rooted.
or refresh here and then start from scratch?
I would.
Okay.
I'd do an ECU update. You don't have to get the
You don't even have to do the whole thing. We've covered that before, but either reflash everything or just reset just by going through the motions of updating your system, even though you're not actually updating it. And we do have a video about that as well. And then just like what Tim said, follow those steps and it should start to figure itself out.
Yep.
Yep.
If you get one of our systems and you can't find a good cam selection to run the best, right? One thing you can do.
Stock mild race.
A stock mild race. Say for instance, you put it on mild, it runs terrible. You put it on stock, it runs marginally better, but it's still real fat. You can actually go in there and decrease the cubic inches of displacement of your engine itself in the settings to lie to it, to say it's a smaller motor, so it'll set the VE table lower. But I was talking with the upper engineers today, yesterday. It's probably yesterday. Or
It's me.
before.
I'm the upper engineer.
Yeah, that's right. Project manager here. That's what he's doing. So
I wish.
Anywho, thinking about adding fuel table offset in handheld, so you can actually offset the whole table by a percent to baseline it to better learn it. Oh, you're like,
nice.
hey, it seems fat, and you look at how much correction it's doing, and you're like, hey, it's not even in learning yet, but it's already pulling 20% fuel out of this table because my head and cam combinations isn't really stock. And you look at it, you're like, cool, I can just offset the table by 20%, and then it will have a base value to learn off of and be better.
Yep.
Gavin Angston, 8315. Is the fuel level going to be available to be seen in the handheld on Jackpot? Yeah, this matter of time. We just got to make sure everything's what it's supposed to be. We got our software guy, our graphic user interface guy, and he's an engineer up some of the programming to make that available so we can adjust the parameters appropriately when we plug that in so that it indicates correctly. We need to lay out our display a little bit better. Not a big deal, but initially what you should see is a scalable table for resistance, the input value for the fuel level sending unit, and then there's going to be the fuel level is probably only going to be a percentage number in one of the side boxes. Not a big deal. You're not going to get a big fancy gauge in the beginning. Eventually, when we have more customizable stuff, that'll be a real thing. Yeah. But at least you'll have an idea of what it is and how to scale it with at least a decent video put out by me or somebody else of how to scale that appropriately in the handheld or in the software. That is a coming soon project.
I mean, I think that's relatively near in the future too, because I've heard a lot of talks.
We've been working on that for about 6 months just with the idea, and then the hardware showed up one day and it was great, and then all of a sudden we started having a loose lead harness because originally we just had a pin. It was like an input pin we had changed. And
will that just be a software related thing, or will there be hardware involved?
There's going to be a wire you have to run back, and then some scaling to do.
Okay.
But most people already have a wire that runs all the way up to the front of their vehicle. They can just tap into it. Okay. It's pretty dope.
Okay. J Saul, 32. Very intrigued by your products. Any chance for a GM 8.1L system? Seems like a potential opportunity for you and others haven't really covered.
Most people do it. You can use it on 8.1. Even Trent Dog said so. It's a 24x1, just like old Trent Dog 2832 said. But the thing is that we have a few customers that just bought our normal LS stuff and just modified to 8.1 because the coils are a little bit different, a few other little funny things. But they swapped injectors and they're using it on an 8.1.
Yeah.
So we don't have one that's direct for it, but it's very easily modifiable for it because it's still a 24x1 system at the end of the day. It's just a big old honking motor. So no worries there. I don't know which one did I read.
MavGrab 74.
What this one?
Yeah.
MavGrab 74. In the install manual, it says get the Killshot running without Ace's distributor and the coil for timing control first. I don't agree with that. My question is, will the ECU run a Petronix 2 in my stock distributor? Yeah, you can run a Petronix 2 on there. You're just not going to run timing control. So. Because it's a whole different thing. It's like an igniter module. You can't run that coil to our system. You can run the Petronix to it. We have a Lincoln we're running a Petronix 2 igniter set up on, or a Petronix igniter 2 set up on, and it seems to do a good job. The issue was we smoked 3 ECUs figuring out how to wire it, and then we smoked several modules. So we're thousands of dollars into trying to figure out the secret sauce into a very basic hookup. It's just that the instructions wasn't clear, and we'd actually end up changing our PC board to be able to handle that massive amount of energy that thing puts out because it's a big dirty signal.
I would just say, I don't know what you're doing, but in the Start Wizard, just say, well, it's a Killshot, so Just run through the start wizard. Don't worry about necessarily not running the Aces distributor and coil for timing control. It plugs straight into the harness.
I would just go straight to timing control.
Yeah.
Don't worry about all the other stuff, because I know in the instructions it says, like, hey, run it non-timing control first.
15 degrees, top dead center, run through the start wizard, call it a day. That's my...
Yeah, you got to make sure to mechanically lock it out.
Well, yeah, but yes.
When you do that setup, you're only installing the thing one time. You're not doing a distributor, setting it up, and getting everything going, and then pulling that distributor because you're going to add extra complexity to it. It's better just to... Even before you put your spark plugs in, get that thing rotated over, figure out roughly where 15 degrees is, go ahead and drop that distributor in, and then install the rest of it. Verify it with the timing light later. You're done.
Steve Whitney 260. Can you run this as a dual quad setup?
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm not actually. Why did we say yet?
There's not enough market in it yet.
Well, and now I'm gonna say something that.
Say whatever you want, dude. It's our podcast.
Ted Mico is.
Oh, that guy's great.
That guy. It will be working on some of that stuff with us. So in the not near future, but in the future, possibly.
Where were we?
Brandon.
Wow.
Deprovolone. That's so cool. I don't know if that's his actual last name or if that's like, if he just, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Sounds like somebody I went to college with. So for NA applications, the boost reference port is left open and the vacuum line connected from the fuel pressure regulator goes to the boost port ? Just making sure it's all getting hooked up correctly. For an NA application, leave the little MPT plug out of the bottom of it so that it can reference appropriately. For the little thread in one, that is a good port to just go ahead and thread in. And then run over to your fuel pressure regulator just to make sure it has a little vacuum source at the one-to-one thing at the top. That way it's pulling vacuum on it and your fuel's a little bit more accurate. Now, great. That's really about it. A lot of people look at the picture, don't read the text, and stick the thing in, then call, and it's a bit of a fight for about a week until we actually figure out, hey, there is a plug in the bottom of it. Please take that thing out.
Yep. Bruce Parker, WW7PX. When is the full House TBI kit going to be available?
Soon. I'm doing a bit of testing with that thing right now. I just need to verify everything. They were hitting on all 8 and then some. So there's that. But, I want to make sure the IOs work and everything's supposed to be the way it is. And then we'll probably just go ahead and open it up for the market. I think they're doing some kind of full house thing right now, too.
Not yet. February.
Yeah, so, we're real close to having that thing out. I'm going to actually put it on a buddy of mine's race car. He does a lot of these drag and drive things and just, see where we could really stretch its legs out. That way we can give people that warm fuzzy, like, hey, this thing is out there doing its job. Mm-hmm. So it's a easy gamble as it goes. It's like, hey, I'm going to buy this. I can see it working over here. We're doing pretty good. And must be a Ford fan. Must be 289. Must be a Ford thing. Ford, hashtag Ford. No Chevy, no Dodge, just Ford. No, I'm just kidding. It says no Fords here. The 289 in my name was automatically generated by YouTube when they did some update. My comments for last week are only because you didn't start the tech. It's for the people. That's absolutely a thing. I had posted on here, problem fixed or replaced a bad component. Now we can get back for the people.
Yeah.
What's up?
What was the bad component, Tim?
Oh, just a malfunctioning issue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm kidding.
The biological actuator of the left seat had diminished. We needed a replacement. So I went ahead and ordered a new replacement, got approval, and then overnighted parts from China.
Tech Tuesday, episode 21. We'll do some new things coming up here in the future with how we do Tech Tuesday, who comes on the show, where we're at doing Tech Tuesday, things like that. So I shouldn't say show. It's less of a show and more of like a podcast feel.
Yeah.
So
it's
very helpful.
It's podcasting.
We do it for the people.
We really do it for the people.
For the people.
Like if we was just selling parts, like you wouldn't see none of this.
Right.
You'd call tech department. You get kind of answers. It's a whole thing. We're just trying to literally help people out. That's a whole.
The whole thing.
I've worked for other companies. I've done other stuff, and this is the finest example of like people actually caring about some stuff.
Yes.
Like, hey, I do care about what kind of product we sell. I do care about how we try to help people. So that's why we do this. It's, any of this stuff that we do here is for the people. I don't think anybody works here for the pay. I think we all work here for the passion.
Yes, agreed. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Tech Tuesday. If you liked it, please leave a like down below. If you have any questions about EFI, ACES in general as well, please feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you see any Tech Tuesday media anywhere else on social media, feel free to show it some love. And yeah, like we always say, thank you very much for watching, and we will see all of you guys in the next Tech Tuesday episode.
Bye now.